Hey, welcome to the 5 o'clock summer news. My name is Adam Burke. I'm going to make you a delicious cocktail and talk about the news, because once you hear that news, you're going to need a drink. Today's drink is a brown sugar old fashioned. It's like a regular old fashioned, but with brown sugar. I normally say rye for an old fashioned, but we're going to use bourbon for this one because I think it goes better with the brown sugar. This recipe will be enough for one drink because we're going to build it in the glass. 1 teaspoon brown sugar. Then you want 1 teaspoon water. The day after the Supreme Court roundly rejected a lawsuit seeking to overturn election results in 4 states, President Trump took to Twitter and vowed to, quote, continue the fight. Okay, but where? The Supreme Court? The Supremacist Court? The Supremacist Court? Actually, he would probably win in that last one. It's pretty embarrassing that the Supreme Court just completely ignored Trump's case, despite the fact that he nominated 1/3 of them. That's like hiring a band for your birthday and they refuse to play a song that you wrote. Hey dude, I know we're on your dime, but leave us some dignity. The day after the decision, thousands of Trump supporters marched in DC in protest, evidence of just how many people believe the president's baseless claims of voter fraud. I think part of the reason so many people believe this bullshit is that while Americans love voting, they're really not all that interested in all the minutiae of how it's actually carried out. It's kind of like when you order a beer and the bartender starts telling you about the barley and the fermentation process, and you're like, dude, can you just pull the lever and get this over with? And that's the thing, right? The people who think the election was stolen have never really seen what normal ballot processing looks like. So they watch these videos and this so-called evidence, they see something slightly weird and take that as proof of a crime. But you're just not used to the normal version. It's like the first time I saw American football and I was like, dude, did you see that one guy just tackle that other guy to the ground? Did someone call the cops? Yes, mistakes were made during this election, but they're not signs of some vast evil plot. They're just good old-fashioned American fuck-ups. And being able to fuck up at your job and hope that nobody notices is a fundamental American right. Americans love a fuck-up. After all, 74 million of them voted for one. 2 dashes Angostura bitters. 1, 2. Then take a muddler and then just muddle the sugar and the water and the bitters together so they're all dissolved. UPS and FedEx have begun shipping 3 million doses of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine and are keeping it cool with huge amounts of dry ice. That's right, the vaccine is about to enter our lives like some kind of reverse Undertaker. Get ready to be tombstone pile-driven, COVID. Pile-driven is the past tense of pile drive, right? I don't know wrestling. That's right, the vaccine is being stored in dry ice. What else does it need to work? Air horns, glow sticks, Molly. I'll inject the vaccine in a second, but first the vaccine just wants to touch your skin for a bit because it feels amazing. Most states are following CDC guidelines and giving the vaccine to healthcare workers and residents of nursing homes first. The CDC has asked that younger people don't try to get inoculated by going to nursing homes and pretending to have Benjamin Button's disease. Hey dude, I know I look 23, but I'm actually 96, so hurry up and give me the shot so I can go to Bonnaroo this year. Then 2 ounces bourbon. As always, make sure to spill some. As talks for a Brexit deal drag on between the EU and Britain, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has raised the idea of using the Royal Navy to patrol British fishing waters. Hey Boris, you know that whole rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves thing was just a song, right? You can't rule waves. If you could, drowning wouldn't be a thing. The only person who's ever ruled a wave is Bodie from Point Break. And I knew Bodie. Bodie was a friend of mine. Prime Minister, you're no Bodie. I can't believe Boris is willing to put an aircraft carrier up against some Dutch trawler just because his party couldn't come up with a deal in 4 years. Britain's had a lot of questionable conflicts over the years. Ireland, the Falklands, Oasis versus Blur. But you're really going to go to war over Scampi? And what did you do in the war, Daddy? I liberated 500 tons of scrod from the bowels of a Belgian steamer. Is that why all your medals are covered in tartar sauce? It is indeed, son, it is indeed. And stir all that together. Garnish. A twist. You don't have to, but I'm going to add an ice cube. On Thursday, Disney announced that they're working on 10 new Marvel series and 10 new Star Wars series. Really, 10 Star Wars series? Surely you're going to run out of characters at some point. Don't get me wrong, I would absolutely watch a show called The Adventures of That Little Black Robot That Chewbacca Scares the Shit Out Of. My only question is, can you get the little black robot to come out of retirement? And last but not least, garnish with a cinnamon stick. That's a brown sugar old fashioned. This has been the 5 o'clock Summer News. Cheers.